Now, before we get into the video, listen, I gotta let y'all know, I made this video probably like a day ago, maybe 2 days, and this is before Karma Seal Boruto was announced. So if I say in this video, if Boruto characters were announced or any of this, or when Boruto characters come, it was because I didn't know. But now that I do know, the video would have been different, but it was already finished. But I digress, and let's get on to the video.
Yo, murder gang wanna make a nigga lose for the brain Southside nigga murder everything Shots fire, make a nigga run, man. I still choke, I'm a dick pit got the bitches on my dick tip I am so strange like a misfit Get the bitch out, she indifferent
And the nigga mind, shit, nigga grind, fuck a gold mine, never mindful, Kai Super Saiyan, nigga find birds in the damn sky, cause they never laugh.
Hey Joey, I'm just gonna stop rapping.
Sight! What's good, YouTube? Hey, it's your boy Solo Vaughns. Hey, listen. Now, by the title, you should already know what this video is about. Now, as we all know, Season 3 is coming to an end, and Season 4 is looking like a glimmer of hope, but still nothing is confirmed yet. Now, I'm still remaining hopeful that there is a Season 4, of course, because that would just mean even more content will be coming to the game. But there's one thing that we do need to talk about if they did announce a Season 4, and that's the many things that they would probably have to fix on the game to keep it kind of going. Now, the two biggest issues on Shinobi Striker right now is getting dashed and the matchmaking. I think we can all agree that there's nothing worse than losing a match and then getting dashed when you load back into the hub world. And even though these are big major concerns, I don't really think these are gonna ever change. These are just things that we're gonna have to deal with as this game is going. I mean, we already dealt with it for 2 years, 3 years now, so I mean, shit, if there wasn't a fix 3 years ago, I don't think there's gonna be a fix now. But I wanted to touch on a topic that could make Season 4 more of a season just like Season 3, where not necessarily they focused on the characters that were just coming to the game, but the game within itself. Now, I've said in previous videos that Season 3 is probably the best season that we've ever gotten, and it's not even just because of the characters and the new jutsus. And yes, best believe, I do love every jutsu that has came, even body bluff. But they made a lot of constant changes this season, especially within the patch notes. A lot of jutsus got buffed, a lot of jutsus got different effects. It's just a whole different feel this whole season. Like if a person stopped playing in Season 2 and hopped back on now, this would be a whole different foreign thing to them. And that's what this season was all about, a transition from the Naruto-esque fighting styles to more of the Boruto fighting styles. And what I mean by Boruto fighting styles is the ninja tools. Come on now, there's hella ninja tools in here now, especially that new one where people is pit pulling now. Listen, that shit is sickening. And I have one word for anyone that uses that build. You are what? La mid. Oh shit, that was two. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, since Season 4 might be around the corner, it is safe to actually try and give out a few ideas that may actually make Shinobi Striker a better get through for the common player also. So first up on my list is a solo queue bonus. Listen, I was talking to one of my friends and he told me that he plays Gears of War and he plays solo, and they give out a solo bonus because sometimes your teammates are ass. And let's be real, solo queues, we have the worst teammates ever. So if we can get a little bonus towards the NWL rewards, that would be nice. And it would give more incentivation to actually play solo. Now, just because more people will play solo doesn't mean that the brand of players will be better. I'm just saying we deserve a little bit more XP, I guess, for even going in there by ourselves. Now, after that, the next one that I have up is an option to toggle bots, which are the very annoying CPUs in the practice mode. Listen, I don't know if they updated these guys or not, but they've been beating the fuck out of me in these pits. I'll be in mid combo or just anything, and here comes Boruto with a vanishing Rasengan. Now, we all know that doesn't do a lot of damage, but when you don't see it coming, it's a very impactful thing on your life. Just ask Momoshiki. So having an option to toggle these bad boys off would be beautiful, and it would open the door for a lot more 1v1 and a way more enjoyable pits with 4 players that just want to fight each other. Now, they could even go a step further and toggle teams, and then it can go a handicap match with a 3-on-1 or a 2v2. I just want to spitball ideas that I know can make it into the game if there was just a more dedicated team for these solutions. Now, this next idea might not be a popular one, but I do want to at least look out for some of the newer players out there and for some of the players that don't really play it competitively, and that's add more VR missions. Now, I understand VR missions aren't the best. A lot of them are really repetitive and boring, but if some of these VR missions were just a little bit more complicated, I think we would actually play them a lot more. Now, hear me out a little bit, because on Protect the Village Gate, that's probably one one of the best VR missions we have. And on the S and A rank, they do get pretty real. I've made a lot of memories with some of my boys, so yes, indeed, these VR missions are pretty fun, especially on your first playthrough. But if some of these VR missions were a little bit more complicated, like protecting 2 village gates or even 4, that would be much more interesting. I mean, even the last 2 missions that are locked until you get to 98%, those 2 missions are really fun also, especially if you can get it done solo. All in all, what I'm trying to say is, if we had some of these VR missions that were just a little bit more complicated and made us use our heads a little bit more, we'd probably have more fun on the VR missions. Now, the next idea, it really isn't even like an organic idea. This is like a mandatory idea that needs to just be at least addressed within the life of Shinobi Striker, and that's private matchmaking. Now, I do understand that everything that this game produces takes time, and private matchmaking probably isn't just a flip of the switch, so I do understand that these things may not just work out, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like this game doesn't need private matchmaking. If this game had private matchmaking, this game probably would be way more popular just within itself. And I'm not talking about just 1v1 and 2v2 private matchmaking. That issue would already be resolved if they just had a toggle button for CPUs in the pits. But they could make it its own standalone game mode that would also bring more people in, so yes, that still can be an option. But with a small development team, I think they should just use resources that don't really take too much time. But like I said, private matchmaking. Now, for 4v4, this will be beautiful competitive wise. And of course, for a lot of the casuals that just want to come in and fight their friends. But this private matchmaking would just be 4v4. Now, of course, some people can test that and get out and make it a 3v3. You know how the whole process go. But I'm just saying, listen, 4v4 private matchmaking, if we had that, that would be beautiful, because it's a hassle when you have to wait longer than 25 minutes to even queue up with a team, and the match is over in 6 minutes. Like, from a streaming standpoint, that is the main reason why people just can't really sit through stream. Now, if we had something like this that would just cut that time by 75%, oh my goodness, we would damn near be getting somewhere. Now, if there's any idea that should be brought forth to any type of Bandai or Soleil attention, it would be this one, and my last idea, but this one for sure. And I wanted to add, for any developer that may ever see this ever, who knows, I'm just gonna say this: you can lower the XP and give us no VR master progression. That would be a great way to prevent people from being able to boost and get rewards out of some of the characters that they have to grind. Now, the next idea is better rewards out of the NWL. Now, sometimes the NWL has like 1 or 2 things that are pretty decent, and yes, it's kind of worth grinding for sometimes, but majority of the time it's 1 new thing and 1 duplicate that I already got about like maybe 15 NWLs ago. So I just feel like if they just came together and was like, you know what, let's stop playing these Shinobi Striker players and actually give them some drip to actually dress in, like Jigen's clothes, or maybe Kawaki's, or even Shinki's coat. I'm just saying, anything that can make us look nice, I think we should definitely start getting those, because the Boruto manga and their character designs, boy, y'all would love those outfits. Now, the last and final idea is, yes, you guessed it, new maps. Now, this new maps thing, it's very tricky, okay? Because I know a lot of people feel like we should have 10 new maps. We done waited 3 years. Listen, I even understand that 10 maps is a bit much for this game. Even 1 map is a bit much for this game. But I do feel like if they did start including any type of maps for season 4, I think 3 minimum would be nice. I want you guys to get down in the comments to let me know some of the map settings. That would be nice to see, but I do want to say 3 would be minimum for this game. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, if it got 3 new maps, this game is going to make a massive comeback, but I do think a bigger player pool would return back to the game if there was something super refreshing like new maps. Now, of course, I don't think all these ideas might be incorporated in season 4, but it would be nice if we were to get at least one of these ideas to be incorporated, because listen, this game really does need a very big, refreshing new thing to come to it. And I understand characters is the safest way to keep on making money for this game, but it does seem like you guys care about your game a little bit more, because adding these subtle updates and these subtle ninja tools and substitutions, it makes me raise an eyebrow. And a quick message to everyone that keeps saying that this game is dying. Listen, this game has been dead since the jump. I think you guys need to really understand that. Like 2 weeks, maybe a month after this game came out, everybody was already shitting on it. This game has already had a bad rap from the jump, so it doesn't really matter what anyone has to say about this game. It's going to stay here, and it's probably still going to get DLCs, and I ain't gonna lie, like I said, I'm hoping for a season 4, and it does seem likely, because even Xenoverse is still getting updated. God of Destruction Topo was on his way, and he ain't been in an episode in like 2 years now. I'm just gonna say Bandai does not give up on their games. Even Naruto Storm 4 with Momoshiki, Xenoverse with Topo, this game got another character coming out, and even then, if another season gets announced, a popularity boost will come here. Boruto is finally starting to take off, and this is the first game that's set in that era. So they're definitely gonna at least kind of push this game a little bit more if the Boruto anime can start taking off even more. And best believe, off that last episode, listen, this anime is finna start getting saucy. But listen, I don't want to ramble on for too long. I just wanted to make sure I got some ideas out before the next season gets announced. I really do pray and hope that it does get announced, because I'm not really ready to give up this game yet. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, this your boy Sullivans, and I'm signing out. Hey, it's the takeover. You dig?